Hey, it's Princess.
And it's Precious, and you're watching Divine Duo.
Welcome to another episode of Hair 101.
Yes.
It's episode number 2, so you know we gotta come back a little bit stronger. This time we're gonna tell you things that we wish we knew up till this moment.
If you guys missed our last 101 video, we gave a few vocabulary.
Yeah, we gave terms, like common terms that you guys won't understand if you're not really in tune or haven't been doing your research when it comes to hair journeys and whatnot. So you know what, it probably is important for you to watch that video first, because if we bring up those terms here and you don't understand them, instead of you writing it in the comment box below, you can probably just go watch the video and then you'll understand everything that we're talking about. But yeah, there's the video. Go ahead, click on that and then come right back.
And we'll still be here.
Because we'll be ready. So how we're going to do this is she has 3 and I have 3. So we're just going to go back and forth.
And back and forth.
So we're just going to keep going back and forth and give tit for tat. But you know what? We're going to save all the fire ones for the end. So you save your fire ones for the end. I'll save my fire ones to the end. So the first ones, you know, they still all going to be fire.
Yeah, they're all going to be good.
They're all going to be fire. But if you want to know the level of fireness,
stay to the end. Alright, so for number 1, I had to say, I wish I knew what listen to your hair meant. I always used to hear YouTubers say, listen to your hair, guys. You really have to understand your hair. Listen to it. And I'm sitting here like, when did there become a lingo between me and my hair? Like, what am I supposed to listen for? Like, when I comb it, is it supposed to sound moist, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not even being stupid. I really did not understand what they meant by listen to your hair. But it's more so to the touch. Like, when they say listen to your hair, the texture of it or the feel of it when you're doing certain things needs to, you should automatically know when it feels alright or when it feels like it needs help.
Right.
You understand? So for example, if your hair, usually when you're deep conditioning it and you put the moisture in and it sucks it up right away and it feels juicy right away, that's how you understand your hair to be. But if another time you're moisturizing your hair and it feels very mushy, it's kind of sitting on top, well, your hair is telling you something. You got to listen to it. So that's what listen to your hair means, guys.
And I think it's safe to say that when you're listening to your hair, before you can even listen to it, you need to know what your hair feels like at its best.
Exactly. Exactly. You need to master your hair at its healthiest point to understand when it's going through something wrong, or else you'll just be lost. But it's a good thing because you get to learn something new about your hair.
Right. And listening to your hair will lead you in the right direction.
Yes.
Ultimately.
And I'm sorry to say, sometimes you do have to go through a setback before, you know, you listen to your hair real well. You know what I mean? Those that don't hear
will feel. That's a Liberian phrase, y'all.
Yeah.
Those that don't hear will feel. If you understand it, write it in the comment section below.
Or like it. Go ahead.
The second tip is to pay attention to your shorter strands. Now, by that I mean, you're probably not going to notice it when you're first getting your first, when you're first hitting your first successes in your hair journey. You're not going to realize that there's shorter strands within. And you're not going to realize it until it's longer. Because when it gets longer, that's when you start to see more see-through ends. That's when you start to see more flyaways and stuff like that. And it's because you're not really tackling those shorter strands that are within your ponytail, that are within your sections, that are within stuff that you can't really hit contact right away, but they're there and they're a little shorter than the rest of, not even a little, sometimes they can be drastically shorter than the rest of your hair, but you don't realize it because
you're only focused on the ends, you know, the real ends. There's multiple ends of the hair. Let me tell you something to help out a little bit more. If you're brushing your hair, right, and you have like these strands that are like this long, but you know your hair is about 12 inches, right? It broke off from somewhere.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So there's always an end to a different hair follicle. So you have to focus on every single length of the hair because you want to catch everything.
Right.
It don't matter if you can't see it. Just try to catch everything so that everything is growing down together.
And sometimes it'll be just like a portion of your hair that's just a little bit shorter than the rest. You want to get to that, because if you don't get to that, while everything else is growing, it's gonna
stay right there.
It's either gonna stay right there or it's gonna be going in the other direction because you're too busy focusing on the longer parts that you're not focused on that short part. You want to catch that short part up, because those short parts, once they begin to grow and once they begin to catch up, you're gonna enjoy your hair way more than you're probably enjoying it right now. And you know, it could be anything that's making it short. It could just be that it's not getting enough moisture, or it could be that it reacts differently to some of the products that you're used to using in your hair regimen. So just find out what it is. It could be anything, and I don't want to stress you out thinking that you might never find out what it is, but more attention on it in general will do well. Yeah. It will definitely catch you up. So you know what, just focus on it. Give it a little, if you need to. You know what I do? When it comes to my problem areas, I tackle those first, because by the time I'm done with this big old head, I'll be tired. So I save my good areas, which is my front. So the front of my hair is longer, so I usually save that for the last, and I usually tackle my problem areas first. So yeah, that's just a little tip for you guys. That's one thing I wish I knew. I wish I knew to pay attention to my shorter strands, because they are some.
Okay, so moving on to the third, what we wish we knew. I wish I knew about the right comb for the right situation. For example, when I first joined the hair journey.
Wait, hold on. So you're telling me that wide tooth combs aren't the answer to everything?
Apparently not. Let me tell you something. When I first joined the hair journey, everything was like wide comb everything. Do not use no small tooth comb, no brushes.
Get yourself a wide tooth comb.
It's best for you. But I was sadly mistaken one day when I realized I was, 4 months post, and I just used a wide tooth comb to detangle, and when I hit that water, it let me know shedded hair is real. When you have shedded hair, you cannot use a wide tooth comb, and I had to learn that the sad way when my hair got matted. So for every situation, there's a comb designed for it. For example,
get yourself a wide variety.
A wide variety, yeah. I have my detangling brush for when I have to get to the root and get those real shedded hair out. If I had like a protective styling for like more than 2 months, I really have to get as much hair out as possible. I'm going to use a comb that has smaller teeth. If I am only like 2 weeks post and I just want to get a little bit of the tangles out, I'm going to use a wide tooth comb and keep it pushing. If I want to make a part, I'm going to need a rat tail comb. Okay? Oh, if I want to get some flyaways down, like the way I have my leave out, I'm going to use my brother's brush that I stole. To get these laid down. You understand?
You know when guys get a fresh cut and they got the Caesar and then they use that brush that goes down?
It works so well. I have one of those. I took it. Okay. So you have different brushes for different methods. So yeah, I understood that wide tooth comb is not for everything. They tell you that yes, when you're on a relaxed hair journey, it's best to use wide tooth comb, but not for every situation. So now you know.
Right, and don't get me wrong, wide tooth comb is very good, and I love that they started having women think about using wide tooth comb, especially African American women, because we used to use some very fine tooth combs back in the day, just because of what our mothers taught us and stuff like that. Not speaking for everyone, of course, but speaking for a majority.
And I understand it's unnecessary breakage to use to use a fine tooth comb when you really don't even need it. But there's times that you need a small tooth, like a brush, you know, to really get your hair well detangled.
A detangling brush, oh my God, has saved my life. And you know what? When you get, detangling is so important that I feel like that needs to be a whole nother video in general. It will be because that entails so much, and we'll talk about it later. Okay, so let's get to the fourth tip. What I wish I knew up till this moment. What I wish I knew is, I wish I knew that this journey was going to be so long. Say I started in January, I started in like February. I thought that by December, I was probably going to have like,
Punzy.
I thought I was going to be punzy. I thought I was going to be... No.
We have a goal for where we want to be, but we'll never plan out and say, I want to hit waist length in 1 year, you know what I mean? Or like by the end of the year, I want to be at waist length. No,
don't rush it. Take your time, because slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, that's cliche, but it does win the race. If you try to quicken it, those moments where you like, okay, let me get this detangling over with, let me get this deep conditioning process over with, that's what's gonna be ended up setting you back. So if you just think about it like this is gonna be a long journey, just like any other journey, if you tell yourself this is gonna be a long journey, let me just take my time, and you're actually going to enjoy it, and you're gonna cherish your length, and your length is gonna come in the way you kind of want it to come in.
So just take your time, realize that you want long hair for the rest of your life, right? This is a life journey. You're just going to have to, because even when you get there, you're still going to have to maintain it.
Right.
And this is the last one for me. And
which is number 5.
Which is number 5. What I wish I knew. I wish I really knew the science behind hair density and the actual hair follicle. And I know that's getting straight into depth, like
the science part.
Yeah, nobody want to hear all that, but I'm telling you, it really goes a long way if you understand what's going on with the hair. You know, when you put something on it,
that might have to be something else that is a whole nother video, because that goes in depth right now.
Definitely, it does go in depth. I'm not gonna go into depth right now though. I'm just gonna talk about hair density, the difference between hair density. For example, you know how some people like to watch 4C videos if they're 4C?
Oh,
you know, even though y'all both might be 4C, the density of the hair, you might have fine hair, and that person might have thicker hair. You know what I mean? So they're gonna go for thicker products.
Right.
When your fine hair can't handle that thick product, next thing you know, you're going out and buying all their products for what? Like your hair is all weighed down and whatnot. You're like, why isn't it working for me? Because you have to understand that we all have different densities. We all have different thickness, and we all have different hairs in general.
To help you understand density, she means if you do purchase wigs, when you purchase a wig, they ask you, do you want 200% density? Do you want 100% density? It's about how many follicles are on your actual wig. Now, as we're talking about hair journey, we're talking about how many follicles are on your actual head versus how thick your actual strand is. There's a difference. Okay, it's just like when people say their hair is thin. Are you sure that your hair is thin, as in your follicle is thin, or is your density low, meaning there's not a lot of follicles, you know, in your scalp itself? There's a difference.
Yeah, she's right. Exactly. That's exactly what I was
it's a difference between your strands being fine and you having thin hair. There's a difference.
So it's really important to kind of learn more about hair, the different types of hair, and the type of hair you have specifically. So I wish I would have known the science of my hair.
So the last but not least, and hers kind of leads into mine, which is no regiment is identical. I remember when I first started looking at different people's hair channels and stuff like that, I used to go straight to their regimen, especially if their hair was nice, luscious, and silky. Yup, I used to go straight to their regimen, and it's like, you can't even try to build your regimen off of someone else's, but it's not gonna take you very far, because you're gonna require different tweaks. Your hair's gonna require something different. Nobody is made alike. It's gonna be different. Even us, we got different fingerprints.
No, we got the same fingerprints.
Exactly. Like, honestly, you're gonna have a different regimen, and not even just you're gonna have a different regimen for someone else. You're gonna have a different regimen in every season. So don't even try to keep doing the same thing.
Even as the weather changes, you need to change with the weather. Therefore, you need to find a regimen that's designed for you.
Yes.
Perfectly for you. You've tried it out and it's worked for you. That's your regimen.
So understand, with the hair journey, you're gonna have to go with the flow of your hair, hunty. You can't go with the flow of your schedule. I mean, you can, like, you know, kind of incorporate it in that way. Or
you can't follow somebody else.
No, you can't do that, honey. Sit down and
get to know your hair. Yeah, really get to know it. Really.
And all of our videos, I feel like at the end, it's saying get to know your hair. Like, that's what our ultimate goal is for having people to understand, is to get to know your hair. So yeah,
build a relationship with your hair. You know what I mean? Like, fall in love with it. You're already in love with it, because you're trying to figure out how to, you know, maintain it, keep it long. But literally understand it. Ask it how it's doing today.
And don't love it when it's long. Love it when it's short too, because that's a journey right there. Okay, guys, this is all we have for you today. We wanted to let you know 6 things that we wish we knew. We wish we knew before we started our hair journey, guys.
But guess what? Now you know.
So find a way to incorporate it into your hair regimen if you can. If you don't want to, that's fine. So I hope you guys liked the second episode of Hair 101.
Thank you guys so much for watching once again. I cannot stop thanking you guys over and over and over again. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button.
And if you want to join the PMP party, hit that subscribe button, y'all.
Thank you guys so much.
Bye.
Sweet type of love. Don't give me that sweet type of love.